Welcome to Spiritual Rebirth Tarot. I'm Madelyn, your tarot reader and energy healer. So nice to have you here. Water signs. So we're doing a reading for January 3 through 9 for all of the water signs. Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Today, I don't know, my energy is energetically, I am just not here. And I think it's the full moon has just been, kicking my butt. Anyway, please take what resonates today. I do feel very connected, but I just feel very weak. Anyway, take what resonates today and, leave what doesn't. Please subscribe to the channel, comment, share, click the like button. All that stuff really helps me be able to continue to offer this to the community and to you. And so I really appreciate it. I have started doing Facebook messages. So every day, a message comes out, and I asked Gabriel for the message, and today it was Raphael. But typically, I ask Gabriel for the message. Really amazing messages. I pull a card to see what kind of energy. So if you go on my Spiritual Rebirth Tarot Facebook, or I'm also putting them on my Instagram. So you can see them on the Instagram account or on the Facebook account. And so either way, and it's just, I've really enjoyed it a lot. So I think you will too. And we are, at the end, we're going to be looking at an angel message and also a card from the Whispers of Love Oracle deck. And so to help guide you. So watch all the way to the end and we will take a look at those. So today our intention is for only things of the highest and best good for us will come into the reading. And let's ask the divine for protection and guidance in our reading today. Okay, so water signs. Let's take a look at the Angels and Ancestors deck for a message. So I like to put Reiki energy into the deck. Help guide us to the right card. Oh, Traveler. Move in a new direction. Well, it's a good one for the new year. Move in a new direction. So, that could both be physically. It could be physically. Some of you watching are moving, going to a new place and having a lot of new opportunities. We could be moving in a new direction in our minds and our thoughts, but also in our feelings and emotions. And the more we move toward, those happy, beautiful feelings in our lives, the more those happy, beautiful things will enter it and be a part of our lives because we're living in that high vibration. I love listening to Abraham Hicks every day because it really helps me to start to form a new way of thinking and having that sense of joy and happiness no matter what the circumstances. So, she looks like a very comfortable and happy traveler. So water signs, for some of you, there certainly will be some physical travel this year. It could be that because of the coronavirus, changing out, that more people will get to go on trips and do things like that. So, but I think it's also having to do with kind of moving in our hearts. So I'm going to do a New Year's reading, and I'm going to use the medicine wheel kind of card as kind of the starting for that, because that's the medicine wheel from the shaman perspective is the start of your journey, and the things you need to do first, to let go of and to bring into your life to really have that journey flowing for you. So I'm going to take a look at that card and those energies for the New Year reading that'll be coming up. So let's take a look at some messages, water signs for you guys. Okay. Since this is the first week of the new year, I kind of see it also as just a reading that kind of is going to set the tone for the year. And really, how you choose to look at things right now is going to set the tone for a lot of things. And of course, we've just entered the age of Aquarius as well. So there are really a lot of new directions and new energies coming in. Okay, oh wow. So the first card, the Five of Cups, is actually, I was talking about those messages. So for this week, that when I'm actually talking to you, I got this card for 3 different days. The Five of Cups, and each time I looked at it, and I was like, I'm supposed to give a positive message. There's not always a lot of positivity in this card with, all this guy, he's in depression. He's kind of like spilt milk. He has a hard time seeing, it's kind of like that pessimism rather than optimism. The glass is half full. He's having a hard time seeing the good things, the bounty behind him. And so this is that new direction, right? This, move in a new direction. So turn around, see what's there, or go across the bridge and get a whole bountiful supply of everything you need. So, so many times it's really hard. You're going through life, and it's really, really challenging to look at it, to look at the good things instead of the bad. So this week you're being asked, water signs, to have a new perspective, new direction, new focus in your life toward the positive. And if you have been very positive, and continuing on that path, there may be something that will come into your life that will make you want to stumble. Another thing I'm being drawn to in this card is the river. And in Abraham Hicks' talk, I think the talk that just clinched it for me, and I was like, oh, that's what they're trying to say. And they were talking about a river and how when you get in the river, you just float downstream. So like if you go whitewater rafting, you don't get in the river downstream and then like pedal really hard, not pedal, but row really hard all the way up through all the rapids. You get in at the top and you ride down. Yes, part of the time you're riding through rapids, part of the time you're riding through calm, but whichever way it is, you've lost that resistance. You're allowing the universe to take you. And so that's what this river is telling us is, take a new direction. Don't try to paddle upstream. Get in the boat. Nothing you want is upstream, is what they say. Nothing you want is upstream. Everything you want, everything you desire is downstream. And it's great because we don't have to fight and struggle and try, because everything we want is downstream. So down we go. And so that's the message for you right now. Is there may be some way that you're thinking, yeah, but I was told that only if I, work really, really hard at being happy or whatever, things will be successful in my life. And yes, the thing is that, yeah, we go through the rapids. It's not that we don't put forth any effort. It's not that we don't, it's that we are in alignment with the source, with our higher selves. And as we're in alignment with them, our feelings of joy will be there no matter our circumstances. Okay, so let's see what other messages for the water signs. So now I have more great messages from the Five of Cups. I think it's beautiful because any card, you could be channeled in many different directions. Cool, the Chariot. Yeah, I think those are the right ones. The Chariot. Okay, so it's a major arcana card, 7. Beautiful number, beautiful energies. Cancer, so your card, you guys, water card. And as we are, moving through life, we're talking about this concept of, keeping out the resistance, finding a new direction, going downstream. I think the other thing I didn't mention is that when I go down to my aunt's house a lot, and she's on the Rio Grande, and during the summer, the water, they make sure the water goes up a little bit from the dam, and people, they get in here, and then they get out over there, and they float. So there's all the floaters, so we call them the floaters. But anyway, as they float down the river, there's no resistance. They move along, and they're happy, and they're fun, they're having a good time. And so that's what this energy, this momentum, where is your momentum taking you? If you get in the stream and you allow it to take you to those happy places without resistance, this momentum comes into your life. And there's still a struggle. There's still effort in your life, but that in your emotions, there's an alignment. So I'm always drawn to a couple of things in this card. One is that one of the horses is like under the water and the other is above the water. So there's this, the Chariot has a element of balancing to it. The kind of bringing together different energies and making sure that those energies are flowing. And the other thing is that as he comes out of the water, when he has like 2 staffs, so that's another kind of like 2 balancing. He has seaweed on him. He's coming out of the ocean. And so, as you're going through, it's kind of like finding that lettuce between your teeth, and it's kind of embarrassing. So it's kind of making me think about, it's okay to be authentic. We don't need to have these shame spirals over these silly little things. And a lot of times they are, when you look at them from, like, oh my gosh, I forgot to believe that I did that. I talked to that person the whole time and they never mentioned I had that green, green in my tooth. So, it's like, but at the same, why do we want to, like, they didn't mention it, like, we didn't know it was there, right? So, okay, you didn't know it was there, they didn't mention it, but yet you're having these, almost like shame feelings over it. And I think it's because it's so easy for us to go into these shame spirals. And so Brené Brown talks about the best way to be pulled out of these shame spirals is to be your authentic self, really grasp and deal with vulnerability. And so, having that true vulnerability, letting down our walls, dealing with others with compassion, is part of this, walking this journey that doesn't have the, is not restricted, that we're able to flow through life. Okay, so let's see what else are we being drawn to for the water signs. It still came out. Like I did all of that and it was still the next card. Okay, I guess it was meant to be. Two of Pentacles. So the Two of Pentacles, here I see again this ocean behind them and the waves that are tempestuous, and these ships, they kind of have to have no resistance. If in the middle of the storm they put down their anchor and they're like, I'm just gonna stay right here no matter what, I'm not gonna move, whoops, yeah, okay. So there's the same concept of, accepting the flow, removing resistance from your life. And at the same time, that balancing was coming out in the other card too. So I hate the word balancing, because I'm always like, what does that really mean? And okay, so it says I need to balance. So what does that mean? And I still don't totally know. Maybe you can tell me in the comments what balancing means. But I do know that sometimes I lose my balance. And one of the things in yoga that I've been working on is finding my balance. And this card is all about balancing the things of this earth. The 3D experience, balancing our finances, our, where we're living, where we're going, what we're doing in life, and balancing all of these things out in our lives. And then, so see, I'm doing my laundry while I'm doing this. So is that balance? So as we go through our lives, for some reason, I just thought of the number 7 again. So I think that you should look up the number 7. You can Google 7 angel number meaning and see what message comes out for you for this week, water signs. So I think 7 is important. 7 isn't balanced. It's 3 and 4 or 4 and 3, but it's not 3 and 3 or 4 and 4. So, and the way 7 is drawn, it's really small at the bottom and big at the top. It's not balanced. So you guys are being drawn to understand balance better this week. Google it. Take a look at your life. See, is there something out of balance? Am I spending so much time taking care of the other people in my life that I'm not taking care of myself? Or, am I so interested in just taking care of myself that I'm not paying enough attention to those around me? Or maybe it is that I need to balance my books, balance my budget, balance my life. It could be that, you balance your food, and what you're eating. It's kind of like maybe this last year you've been super strict and you lost all that weight. Well, then you could go into unbalance and just eat, like you always have and gain it all back. And so that's why weight loss is definitely about, what you eat, what you do, and all that stuff, but it's also about the solar plexus. And, spending time in meditation on, the color yellow, eating the color yellow, thinking the color yellow, And it's something that I have been trying to work on too, is the concept of the solar plexus being strengthened. It has to do with identity, self-esteem, knowing who you are, the self-confidence, taking back your power. So it's all of those kind of things being manifested and exhibited in your life. So the only way to keep this weight off, or as you start this new weight plan for the beginning of the year, you have to really, look, or it's best to look at the emotional portions of it as well as the physical. Because, I was listening to some videos, some people, and they utilize, what they call the 8 principles of, diet and exercise and temperance and trust in God and water and air and all of those kind of things to bring together to help you be healthier. And it includes weight loss, but it also includes, getting off of like your meds and stuff. And they're saying, your body can heal itself. But I think it goes even further than that. And what they don't realize is that by incorporating a lot of faith, for them it's a certain religious beliefs, but faith into it, you're bringing the mind and the heart and the spirit into it as well. So it's the whole person. So in this case, it's balancing the whole. That's what we're being drawn to in this reading, is balancing the mind, body, and spirit. And with Reiki and being Reiki attuned, you kind of look at those and be able to help people, cleanse and clear their chakras. And in Reiki, you have the 4 bodies. You have the physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional bodies, and the etheric bodies surrounding the human that you're working with the energy. And so as you're balancing those, you're balancing the 4 bodies. And so that's a balancing number, 2, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, all balanced out. So, really balancing those in your life. And I know for me, I always dealt a lot with depression. And what I found as I began treating myself with Reiki is that I felt like my depression was a 5th etheric body. And that once I removed that, the depression went away. So it was an imbalance in my bodies. It was a 5th body that shouldn't be there. And so it was like a dark and nasty, and, it kept things dark around you. And so I think that, being able to balance your bodies, to cleanse your bodies, and to bring out a whole new, a new self is really what this week is about. So any other messages for the water signs? So if any of this resonates with you today, please comment below. I'd love to hear. I'd love to know who's watching, and how things are going with that. Okay. Eight of Swords. And then underneath is the Fool, the Wheel, and the Empress. So, the Eight of Swords, it's kind of a terrible card because, here she is all tied up, and you can think about so many times in the world that we have tortured and harmed people for what they believed or how they saw things, like the witch hunts is, makes me think of that. Just all the lynching. And when I realized that my parents were alive in the 50s and 60s, I knew that theoretically, but when I really realized it, I felt so sad. I'm like, we are right in the middle of this kind of an energy, but we can choose to be the solution and not the problem. And so there may be some things that you are drawn to this week that will touch your heart. Take action on those. Be a part of the solution and not the problem. And so that, to me, that is the underlying message of this card today. So the cards underneath the deck are kind of like things that maybe you don't think about or you don't realize are happening, or it's kind of like the moon energy, that kind of the unknown that your higher self wants to tell you. And it's Fool. It's 3 major arcana. Fool, Wheel of Fortune, and the Empress. This is an absolutely amazing energy that's coming into your life. So during this new year, I feel like this is about the new year, about 2021. It's not just about this one week. During this new year, there'll be these opportunities for you to take that risk, to follow that path, to go in the direction that you need to go, the journey that you need to take, and to make the changes. And the changes will happen. Things will happen and change in your life. And it could be that because of the great conjunction, and the age of Aquarius, as more people are awakening, more of the people that you have always known and loved will become part of this movement. And it doesn't mean that everybody has to believe in like reincarnation, or everybody has to believe in whatever the like New Age philosophy. It's that everyone will be more conscious and more open to how they're living. They'll be ready to ride the river downstream and to be part of that journey. This is you, this is you jumping in that boat. And this is you riding the river, learning how to live, consciously without any things coming and like getting in your way, just with no resistance, just moving forward, moving downhill, and within that will come this beautiful energy of abundance in your life, and the Empress, the feminine, the rise of the feminine energy. And it's not that we want to we're both. We have the masculine and the feminine in us. And I think that it's only because we have separated things that they're even separate. I think in our souls look at it and probably just laugh. They're like, what? Masculine, feminine? I am. And so as we understand more the feminine, and as we bring that stronger into our lives, as we look to the ascended masters like Mary Magdalene, and that's just what I'm really being drawn to here. These ways that we will be drawn to a greater strength and power, abundance and passion during this next year, by jumping into that boat and riding the current without resistance. So let's take a look at the angel message. Passion. Oh, I got this one last night. So follow your passions. And that's what this, kind of is about. This new direction. Follow your passions. And watch the video that I'm going to be doing about the new year, because I really think it's going to bring out a lot of this new direction, moving forward, this wheel of fate, and following your passions. Archangel Haniel, trust and follow your renewed passion in your love life and career. So whatever aspect you are in life, whatever aspect you're wanting to grow and to bring more abundance into your life, or maybe all of them, follow your passions, follow your desires. But in order to really know what your passions are, you will have to let go of toxic relationships and toxic thoughts and looking at things in kind of a faulty way, trying too hard to go upstream instead of allowing yourself to be integrated and aligned. Okay, so let's take a look also at the Whispers of Love. Okay. I love these cards because they're not just like, lovey-dovey. They're also like really, they help us with all of our relationships. And I did a relationship reading just recently. Pick a card that went really well. So take a look at that if you like. Like attracts like. If you long for more love, be more loving. Oh, it's so beautiful. So as you're going through your life, water signs, as you are going through this life and this new year, know that you are attracting to yourself what you're giving out. The more love you give, the more love you will receive. And I think I learned that the most directly when, sorry, my camera was dying right then. So I'd like to finish or like take a look a little bit more at this card as we end. So the thing that I'm learning about this concept, like attracts like. So what we are giving out to the world, it's affecting us, it's affecting the world, it's affecting those around us. But also as we give out on joy and happiness, more joy and happiness is brought into our lives. So certainly that's part of it. One thing that happened for me is when I was introduced to Theta Healing, which is a type of healing that I actually am certified in. And one of the things that you do is you do a meditation where you fill the person's entire body, every cell of their body, with unconditional love. And the first time that I had that done to me, I thought, this is nice. It feels good. I feel grounded and strong. But within 5 minutes, my child walked up to me, and he'd never done this. He does this all the time now. He walked up to me, gave me a hug, and said, "I love you." And the crazy thing about it is that when you are filled with love and you let love out, other people feel it. And they want to treat you that way. They treat you at that vibration. So if you're around people that are making your life uncomfortable, know that like attracts like. The more you live in the higher vibrations of love and happiness, the more that will affect those around you. So thank you so much for coming to the reading today, water signs. I really appreciate it. We are doing an extended with the Starseed cards, which are really an amazing energy, beautiful cards. And for each of you, Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. So come on over if you are interested in that. I'll talk to you later at the next reading.